Hello and welcome to Ruler 3's video review for Halo 5 Guardians for the Xbox One. So this review is going to be a little different because Sinister's here with me for this one.
Hello.
So yeah, this is going to be slightly like the old school reviews to some extent, but I'm trying to keep the new format. So this is obviously the 5th game in the Halo series. Takes place after Halo 4. Durr. And yeah, so I like Halo more for the campaign and some multiplayer. It's one of my favorite multiplayer games.
Yeah, I've liked it because of the book series.
Right. So with that, let's get into the review.
This is over. After all I have done, they'll order you to kill us both.
So the story of Halo 5 revolves around two groups. Osiris Group, which is led by Spartan Locke, and Blue Group, which is...
Blue Team.
Or Blue Team, thank you. Which is led by Master Chief. Each team is comprised of 3 other members who don't really know a whole lot about, other than Nathan Fillion's on Osiris and's awesome, like usual. But basically, it's them trying to figure out what's going on, why these things called the Guardians are awakening, and what Cortana is doing, because apparently she's still around.
Yeah, well, considering the start of it, it's like you got... Okay, you're dealing with Covenant. All of a sudden, this thing rises. Then we switch over to the other side, and you're taking back a ship, per se?
Yeah. With that, the story, at least campaign, was weak.
Meh.
Yeah, it was pretty weak.
It was a little bit better than 2's,
not much,
but
though.
not much.
Not much better than 2's. My biggest problems with the story is, it's a very simple plot line. Cortana, get rid, deal with her, and figure out what she's doing. But they really overcomplicate it by throwing in a bunch of other kind of weird side stories, and none of these characters make any sense. Especially Locke. I hate Locke.
Well, yeah. Now, it goes back to the whole... If you read the books, you understand more.
Right.
But they don't really explain it to the people who don't read the books like I did. I read the books, so I know what the heck's going on. But for someone like you, Roy, who didn't read the books, you're just thrown into this going, what the freaky deaky Dutch are these people?
Well, especially with Blue Group. Obviously, I should have played ODST. I mean, it's one of the main games. And I would have known Buck, who's Nathan Fillion's character, who he is, and have a little bit more on him, who is by far the only really entertaining character in this game.
Yes.
But... mostly in Blue Group or Blue Team, I knew none of these Spartans. Other than they tell you, mid game, yes, they're part of Master Chief's training group that he grew up with. They're practically family. That is all the backstory you got on any of them.
Yeah, honestly, the sad thing is if you go back to Halo 1, there's a slight little teaser about one of his teammates. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, so like I said, the story is not well told. Like I said, all the characters are really, really boring except for one, and that's just because he has some good commentary and has the most personality, all of them. The game also focuses more on Locke than it should. Locke is by far, like I said, he's the worst character in the game. He is very generic, very boring, and they gave him a cool backstory and never, ever went into that or had any cool moments having to deal with that or do anything with him.
Honestly, with the length of this campaign, they should have added a little bit more to explain more of what was going on.
I would have been fine with flashbacks, honestly.
That too.
For a couple of these, just to explain some of these characters, and once again, just other than the idle conversation, give more cutscenes, and the campaign's also really short. You can beat it in 6 hours. Faster if you just run and gun.
Yeah.
And not look for anything. But yeah, so at least for me, the campaign was severely disappointing, which is a shame because, like I said, I like Halo's story to some extent, but this one reminded me way too much of 2's disappointing campaign.
Yeah, sadly, the main focus kind of went to multiplayer, like most shooters do now.
Yep, which we'll talk about in just a second.
Smart Buck online and ready.
Spartan Veil online.
Weapons free. Contact.
Okay, so gameplay. Gameplay's fairly unchanged from Halo 4, except it's a lot tighter, it's a lot nicer, and it's a lot smoother.
Yeah, and a few new abilities that they kind of pulled from the Spartan abilities.
Which I don't remember if this was in it, but the aim and shoot while hovering thing, was that in 4? Yeah, that's what I thought. That was really cool. So
that and the
Spartan charge. Yeah.
Charge and Spartan. I call it crush down.
Yeah. The fall down.
Yeah. Those are all pretty cool.
Yeah. So basically, it allows you to charge at enemies and do kind of a shoulder tackle, jump in the air, and do kind of a dive bomb at them. Also, like I said, if you jump in the air and aim, you'll kind of hover and you can do some cool little aerial shooting. Those mechanics I think work great.
Yeah. Well, especially doing the jump and having to be able to hover, you can actually it helps you aim.
Yeah.
For a second, so you can go pop,
and then drop behind cover. Yeah, it's really good. Other than that, like I said, the core gameplay is pretty much unchanged. You run around. I found myself swapping weapons a lot more in campaign.
Yeah, I tend to run through. You start off with the human weapons,
which are awesome,
which are great. But then I'm finding like not even halfway through the campaign, I'm swapping into enemy weapons.
Yep.
Unless I'm on a human world.
Right. All you really have access to is a lot of Covenant and Promethean weaponry.
I don't mind the Promethean scatter rifle because I love the shotgun.
Yeah, scatter rifles. Well, the Promethean out of all of them, the only guns I really hate are most of the Covenant weapons. Other than I do like the storm rifle and the carbine.
Yeah.
But like I hate most of the other weapons. And the same with like the Promethean. The only guns I like there, the scatter gun's really cool, and the light rifle.
I actually like the not the light rifle,
no, the pistol.
The sniper rifle.
The sniper is cool, but the pistol too. Yeah. The pistol's also useful. But once again, all the guns feel good. I mean, at least I have an opinion on the guns.
The one thing I like is the assault rifle. You have a scope.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, you can actually scope in a little and be able to do 3-round bursts.
Yep.
Instead of sitting there just I can't scope, so I'm just gonna spray with the assault rifle.
And hopefully hit something.
Which the scope system is actually quite interesting, especially with the pistols.
Yeah,
it's not just an actual scope. It's it has a
it's a reticle
through the HUD. It's like wow,
which is really cool. Multiplayer, because that's probably the biggest chunk of gameplay. This is by far the greatest multiplayer ever.
Yeah, which I think they focus more on this than the campaign because
obviously
the new thing, not just arena, they've got Warzone.
Warzone is fun.
Which normal Warzone is PvP versus PvE.
Yeah.
So it's kind of King of the Hill-esque.
It's King of the Hill with a third party intervening. It's really cool.
So you start off with 2 teams, home bases. You have to clear out the home bases to unlock the field. You unlock the field, you take more bases while fighting against each other. Well, you have Covenant and Prometheans spawning in, and you kill them. Your team gains more points, and you get after whoever gets to 1,000 points wins.
Yeah, Warzone's really cool. The only problem I had with Warzone's was the rec card thing, which is meh. I mean, it does give a little bit of a power play to whoever has the best cards to some extent.
Yeah.
But on the whole of the game, Warzone's awesome.
Which, the rec cards aren't bad. I like the thing. I don't like the microtransaction to it.
Yep.
But you can earn them in-game by just playing, which is nice. But you just have to be lucky enough to, if you can save up for the gold, get the good cards, like, the tanks, the banshees, the ghosts, the stuff to use on the field.
Right, and I think Warzone's the best if you have a group of players that you have a lot of people you play with, because then you can rotate who's using what cards and have that. So I think this is going to be the best because I know they're trying to make esports. This one I think would really work well with esports and the cards having kind of like if you do pre-made, everybody has the same cards and you have to figure out when you want to use certain ones with each person.
Otherwise, it falls back to normal arena, which is the 4v4 stuff.
Right, which is fine.
Which also then, another side of the Warzone is they have Warzone Assault, which is PvP. Just straight PvP. You have attackers and defenders. Literally, you're sitting there, you have one team charging the field, taking base after base to unlock the enemy's core, and you have to destroy the enemy's core in a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
If not, the other side wins.
Yeah, it's a nice little defense game. Both of them are fun, though. Like I said, the new Warzone camp modes are, like, by far the greatest things ever. Yeah. They're a lot of fun. I can see a lot of people really playing that for a long period of time, especially for, like, an esport kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
What else? Gameplay-wise, like I said, there's not a whole... Like I said, it's pretty much unchanged other than it's just a lot more fluid and tighter.
Yeah, they just improved the game.
Yeah, but...
It's just the campaign was kind of lackluster.
Yeah, so gameplay-wise, like, it's awesome.
I enjoy it. I like the fact that they still brought back in the whole thing of, when you play a campaign, find the skulls. Yeah,
which is another part of the gameplay. Skulls are in the game. They change gameplay. There's also intel that you can collect, which gives you kind of more of a, what's going on.
Back history of what's going on.
Kind of. It's more or less why certain things are happening. Once again, it doesn't do it.
It doesn't help.
No. So, yeah. So Halo 5 is, at least for me, somewhat conflicting, just because I like the campaign part of Halo, but the campaign was very, 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 very lackluster. But the multiplayer and the gameplay in this game is like by far the greatest in the Halo franchise.
Yeah.
Because of this, I'm edging it into the buy, just because the gameplay and multiplayer is so much fun. And the campaign, once again, it's there. It's just not great.
Yeah, well, basing this off of, whether or not, a $60 buy, would I tell someone to buy this for $60?
Yeah.
Gameplay-wise, yes. Multiplayer, yes. Campaign, you can get by with it. But mainly, the new Warzone, it is funner than hell.
Yeah, it is.
I'm finding myself when I'm, come home from work, I'm jumping on there, I'm going to the war zones. Not the arenas, just the war zone. Even if I lose, I'm still having fun because it's actually good competition.
Yep, so I take it you give it a buy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those buys from both the Halo casual guy and the hardcore Halo guy. So thank you, Sinister, for joining me for this one. Next review will be for Fatal Frame, which should be done by maybe Monday or Tuesday because of Halloween tomorrow. I'm also going to try to stream it tomorrow. Or no, today's Saturday when this goes up. So
yeah.
Look out tonight. There may be some Fatal Frame streaming going on.
Watch Roy piss his pants.
Play for 20 minutes and then quit because he can't take it.
Piss his pants.
Yep, good time. So, but anyway, the review should be out by mid next week. Like I said, this week got a little hectic with Halo coming out. And me spending a lot of time, even though I beat the campaign really quick. But I got sucked in the multiplayer.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's it. Check us out on Rule3.com for all the news, postings, updates. This should also be the last review for the giveaway. So make sure to leave comments on this video and on the website. Any post made in October, if you comment on it, you get an entry in. So make sure to do that. You have until November 5th is when the cutoff is for all postings. After that, I am going to run my program and it's going to choose a winner. Like us on Facebook and Twitter and follow us there. Check out our Patreon if you can. Donate. If we get to $100, we're going to do monthly giveaways instead of this being the last giveaway, which at this point is probably going to be, which I'm sad to say. So, yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. And until next time, always remember to trust in the rule of 3.
Later.